This is the Imperial HoloNet News. The Empire endures through a period of stability. Alliances in the galaxy currently have made expansion through force a dangerous objective to pursue. Sensing this, the Senate has requested that the bulk of the Imperial economy be directed to further fleet expansion and military growth, as we bide our time until making our final move at the Republic in the core of the galaxy. Meanwhile, all is quiet on the expansionary front, as we are now receiving an emergency communication from Grand Admiral Katarn.
This is Grand Admiral Katarn. All Imperial forces are to mass at Capella immediately. Imperial citizens in the Capella system with ships capable of combat have been conscripted into emergency service and to a report to the local garrisons. Failure to do so will result in termination for treason. Katarn out.
Images are now coming in of the conflict from a probe droid in the system.
Imperial ships, this is Grand Admiral Katarn. You fought valiantly today, worthy of recognition in the archives. I'm assigning Admiral Zyos to oversee a team that will attempt to bring the disabled Gravekeeper back online. All other ships are to report to dry dock for refit. Katarn out.
Celebrations are underway on the Imperial Center following the latest advancements in the Imperial ship technology, the Executor-class Super Star Destroyer. Lord Vader has personally assumed command of the ship and will use it as a mobile headquarters to rule over the Empire. All ranking Imperial diplomats, scientists, and admirals have been ordered to attend a special ceremony at Lord Vader's request aboard the Executor. During this ceremony, Lord Vader has announced a restructuring of the Empire. After Imperial Security Bureau review of the performance of various endeavors, new leadership is required to push the Empire to its full potential. One by one, the leaders were led away by the ISB for interrogation. The following leaders have survived the Purge: Grand Moff Eugenia Jazz, Moff Wellington, Moff Braun, Grand Admiral Katarn, and Admiral Asinine. We are currently evaluating new officers to assume these vacated positions. Going forward, the inclusion of new blood and new ideas will help the Empire overcome the stagnancy that has plagued other once great societies such as the Gree and the Rakata. We will not make the same mistakes. Finally, the Imperial Science Division has declared the Aberoth system quarantined and restricted until further notice. A spokesman for the Science Division stated that the star was close to supernova and could go critical at any time, endangering any ships in the area. All navigation apps distributed by the Umbrella Corporation will be modified to prevent accidental travel through the system. Citizens, the Empire needs you today more than ever. We have positions open for ship captains, moffs, generals, and scientists. Vote at the end of the episode and leave a comment to become a senator. The Empire relies on loyal citizens to further our cause. Join the Empire today. It's your duty.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Intrepid Dawn. My name is Captain Katarn and we're going to get started with Star Wars Stellaris. This is episode number 21 and it's good to be back. I really appreciate everybody's patience. Just a couple channel announcements. I had initially taken a couple weeks off here just because I was going through some things in real life, and some people know, I may have said it, that I was trying to get a promotion. I had interviewed for that, and not hearing about it for a while had really weighed on me, but good news is I did get the job. I feel much better in where I am now in my life overall, and I'm ready to get back to work. So let's get started. So we haven't played in a little bit, so just to kind of go over what's going on, we are the Galactic Empire, of course, and we have about, I'd say, 33% of the galaxy, at least of all the important systems. Right now, the galaxy, as you saw in the cinematic, is kind of in a state of, well, it's in a state of equilibrium. There's a lot of different groups that are fairly powerful that have joined up together, so that limits our ability to declare war. There are a couple areas that we may be able to focus on later, but right now we've been just focusing on building up the Imperial fleet. As you may know by watching the last episode, we did lose the Gravekeeper. However, the Imperial Navy is not currently making that public knowledge. So I know a lot of the senators were hoping for some type of action on that, but I don't think that it's wise for us to broadcast our mistakes like that to the galaxy at large at this time, so nothing is going to happen. We'll see. Doesn't mean something's not going to happen next week. Alright, let's get started. So, I currently have SSD command characters, or SSD command ships being built in Imperial Center and Scarif. We have Imperial 2 Star Destroyers being built at Looney and Chalacta, as well as some support class ships. I am going to stick with the one fleet model for now. I know that some of our senators have asked for us to split that up. It's just not necessary anymore. All of the threats that we face will be destroyed much quicker with a one fleet model, and I may split it into 2 fleets at some point. We'll see. Also, I am no longer going to put captain names on the ships. It's become too much. I tried to do it before this, and I spent an hour going through comments and trying to put names on here, and I just decided that's too much work. So what I'm going to do is instead I have an Excel sheet with everybody's name on it, and when I need an admiral, I'll go to that list. So, no problem. You're going to be there. What we do need, however, is we need names for scientists. We need new governors and general. Well, no, we've got generals. So I need scientist names and some governor names. Those are the only positions that I'm recruiting for at this point. So if you want to be a captain, that's fine. Just put in your captain name. We'll add it to the list, but I'm not going to actually put it in game because, like I said, it takes a lot for me to go through all those comments, and I want to make sure that I am, focusing on and getting this experience out to you in a faster manner. Because that after doing that, I thought, man, if I'm going to spend that much time to do it, I need to actually get something out of this. Okay, so let's get started. Thanks for your patience. I'm going to unpause it now. We'll go up to fast. We are also currently researching, phased armor, which is pretty cool. Army damage and disruptor. Very neat. Let's check here. We have the Dead Rising research. We're going to unlock the true power of the Gravekeeper. Now, this is going to take a while, but it doesn't require the ship, and I'm wondering if we might get the ship back as well. I'm not sure. As you saw in the cinematic, we're currently going to go with the cover story that there's a reason that you can't come to this planet or to the system because of a impending supernova, but the actual reason is because of this. So I think that's kind of cool. I wanted to have a little bit of sleight of hand there. Okay, now let's take a look. So the second fleet is updating. I've also gone through and done a complete ship montage. It took me a long time, but I've completely min-maxed these ships, and they have all of our latest scientific advancements. So they are even stronger now than what they're upgrading to, and I most likely am going to have to upgrade them again. But you can see that I'm using very powerful lasers, as long as some flat quad lasers, which are a type of turbo laser, and we should be good. At this point, we're just pretty much in a holding pattern to see what happens in the rest of the galaxy, as well as wait for any endgame events. It is always possible at any second that one of the endgame crises could pop up, so we have to be prepared. Also, we are making quite a bit in minerals, so that's pretty awesome. We have almost a grand there per turn. Okay, so we're going to get another Annihilator SSD, so we're going to absolutely do that. It takes 10 years for us to research that, so it's going to be a little bit. Actually, let's take... How long does it take for the Gravekeeper? Okay, so that's about 5 years. Very cool. So we should have that, I'm hoping by the end of the episode. I'm going to just let this one go organically, and if something interesting happens, we'll address it. Let's see, there's a lot of foreign fleets in our territory. Okay, it looks like the Teresians, or Terrace up here, is about to fall. They're currently being occupied by the Dern Republic. Borgo Prime is actually ours. Let's see, I can integrate them once they get a little bit higher up chain, and then make all of this the Empire. Alright, let's see, we have army damage 10%. Let's see, what do we have now? Core systems, leader recruitment cost, or sector limit. I'll tell you what, I think that we should probably go with, how long is this going to take? 70 months, man, that's a long time. We'll do leader recruitment costs. It's only 20 months, we'll get it out of the way. We've done so many technologies in society, because it's by far our highest research, that we're getting into a lot of tech that I don't really care about, because it doesn't add much to the game. We have 17 of 18 systems, and I know that we need more sectors at some point, because that gives promotional opportunities to our Moffs. And I'd like to do that, so if we were to colonize, let's say, the Mon Cals or something, then we would look at that. In fact, let's take a look at the current state of their alliances. They have a defensive pact with the Iconi. Okay. They are being guaranteed, however, this is the biggest one. Their independence is guaranteed by the Chiss Ascendancy, and I really don't want to go to war with them at this time. So now that I have my frothy beverage, let's go ahead and have a good time. Alright, I'm going to go up the fastest, because there's not a lot that's going on. Let me also redistribute some of this. Make another... I had the suggestion to make some more... I don't see it on here, I'm looking for it. Conqueror class Star Destroyers with their super weapons. So I'm going to do that. I'll have 2 of them here, and Shellac is going to make some for us as well. There we go. That way we have a longer fleet range. I also had some requests to do edicts. So for you, chemistry guy, I just wanted to show you that yes, I have arms race up on all of the planets, and that's helping a little bit. As far as edicts go for the entire galaxy, we also have the Grand Fleet, Improved Energy Initiative, and Information Quarantine. So that's it's a little bit that's going to help us. I know that you're very concerned about my lack of edict use, but to be honest, some of these don't really help us a lot. Okay, so we also have some battalions here. Maybe before next episode I'll go back and mess with the armies, but I don't really think it's all that necessary right now. And I think it'd be kind of boring. I'm just kind of watching what's happening out here, because we saw the Chiss take out the Ricotta 2 episodes ago. And down here in the southern part of the galaxy, it's been fairly quiet, and I don't think we've had any major wars or disruptions. The Hutts over here are inferior and receptive, so if I try to vassalize them, they say no. Alright, let me see if I can invite the Chiss to a federation. -51. So there's just no way they're going to consider that. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we have... oh wow. Nice. Amazon packages are on their way. So we have the SSDs that have been pumped out right now. They're moving into position. That's great. So we just freed up our shipyards. Cybisti shipyards and Scarif as well. I've also put Moff Joe Braun in charge of Imperial Senator, and Moff Wellington is in charge of Scarif. Those are our 2 most important worlds, so it's important that we continue to monitor them. We'll make another Conqueror Star Destroyer there, and 1 here. And I think that's fine. I think 5 of them is potentially even excessive. So we'll build some escort carriers as well. Alright. Just essentially waiting for something to happen. Can't believe Terrace hasn't fallen yet. What's their war score? War score is only 23 with 2 planets. I guess they're gonna probably have to conquer some of these guys over here. Jedi Council has such small fleets as well. I don't know. I'd really like to go to war with the Republic at some point, but I still think that they could crush us combined. And it is harder when you have 1 fleet, but that's the reality of it. Okay.
Incoming transmission.
Alright, sorry, I just turned off my phone. Today's actually my wife's birthday as well, so we continue to get texts and everything else from people wishing her happy birthday. Pretty cool. Alright, what do we have here? This is good. Mon Calamari, okay. the Connie Command stop guaranteeing the independence of the Arcanian Dominion. Ooh, that would be awesome. Let's go ahead and pause this for a second. Looks like we have a trade proposal. They're going to give us minerals for monthly terraforming. I'll take that because I'll turn that into a Star Destroyer immediately. So, awesome. Thank you for that. And let's see what we have here. We've got the Disruptor Mark 1. Oh, nice. Okay, so now we have Death Star plans, framework for a Leviathan, synthetics, which we have a good portion of that. I think we're gonna do the Death Star plans. Absolutely. And then after that, we'll do the Leviathan. Oh, actually, okay, that's not the final Leviathan, but we have to do them both. So we'll do that first. Awesome. Okay, so now they're just in a defensive pack. Ugh, it's gonna make it a little harder. I mean, I don't think that they're particularly strong. No, they're pathetic and hostile. Declare rivalry with them. Okay. If I were to declare war with them, who would I go to war with? Let's see. Camino, Mon Calamari, the Hutts, Naboo. Holy crap. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot. Chiss Ascendancy, I can't do that. Okay, I thought maybe we had an opportunity there. It's kind of interesting to see how all these alliances continue to evolve. Basically, let's take a look at the fleet now. So we're up to about 400k fleet power. We'll just keep pumping out ships and see what happens. I think that's probably the best approach we can take. I'm also going to try to get more Nebulon Bs, because I think that they are really the ultimate escort ship, because it has point defense, fighters, as well as a little bit of firepower. And it's not that weak. So by focusing on that, hopefully we'll be able to really turn the tide. We'll go back up the fastest. How's our research coming along? Not bad. Alright. And we have about 2 years left on Dead Rising, which is awesome. I'm curious to see if that's going to bring back the Gravekeeper. I think that would be pretty cool. We also have a bunch of anomalies I'd like to research, but they're not in our space, unfortunately, so I'm not able to do that. I'd really like to also finish off the Connie Command here. I'd like the entire galaxy to be the Empire, and that's the goal. I'm hoping that we get there. Oh, they've declared us a rival. How horrible. How about the Mon Cals? Did they... I'll declare them a rival as well.
Construction complete.
I think that also makes some of our factions happy. Let me take a look. Yeah, we've got a lot of happy factions here. It's pretty good. Yeah, well, that's all we can hope for. Alright, here we go. So we're going to finish our next perk. So Harmony is completed, and that's going to give us an extension perk. So now we have the choice between Engineered Evolution, the Flesh is Weak,
complete.
World Shaper, Defender of the Galaxy, which I'm significantly considering.
Complete.
Tell you what, I think I'm going to do this just so that we stay... yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this, since we'll get 4 more after this, I'm going to get Defender of the Galaxy, because this will pretty much ensure that we should be able to win against any type of extra galactic threat. Alright, so we have 4 more perks after this, and next we have to fill out... I'm thinking that we should go for Domination at this point, because I could probably start creating vassals if people were afraid of me and we got all these bonuses for it. So I think that's going to be what we go for next. Domination, then Diplomacy, and finally Discovery. Discovery doesn't help a whole lot, beyond the early game. The only thing that's the most powerful point to that is the Jedi Council opened their borders to us. That's weird. Just looking at some of this, the Rhodian clans and Camino are no longer in bed together. The Twi'lek clan is not verifying the independence of the Arcanian Dominion. All very interesting things. But yeah, I think that'll be excellent for us. Let's take a look at our projects. Okay, so we have about a year left on the Dead Rising, and then we'll see what happens there. And I mean, like, we're really at the point where I'm not sure what else we really have to do, just grow the fleet, you know? And hopefully that works out. Make an ISD interdictor class, because those are probably really good for us. Let's see what else. I need some more support ships. Let's just build a whole bunch of our Quintans class, since you guys know that I don't say that correctly, and you bring it up a lot, so I'm trying to fix it for you. Alright, so that's good for now. Let those production facilities work. And what is our fleet up to? 368 plus this, and it's still upgrading. Holy crap, it is taking forever to upgrade this many ships. Where is it? It's here. It's at Arda Prime. Oh, okay, because this is a level 1 ship. Wow. It's gonna take 4 years to upgrade the ships. Okay, well, I mean, wow. I mean, you can see this is old tech, so we really need to get a move on it to get this thing set up where it needs to be. I'm shocked how long it's taking to upgrade our fleet. I've never, I guess, had a fleet that big that I was upgrading before. So we'll see. Hopefully, well, I'm hoping that these new ones have the correct structure on them, so at least we won't have to do those as well. And that's awesome. So we've pretty much reached the pinnacle of that, unless we were to get something like octuple turbo lasers or something like that. Alright, so we have leader recruitment costs, which is great. Now edict duration 10%, hydroponics farm 5, not necessary. Empire leader capacity, we actually don't need that many leaders anymore. I'm going to go with army health, because it is one of those things you can research over and over again, and you get a significant bonus in the Star Wars mod because of the military intelligence headquarters. So that's pretty cool. Also, guys, I have a multiplayer Star Wars Stellaris that we play on Friday nights now. Going forward, we're going to play it on Friday nights, assuming that, you know, Jorgi doesn't finish me off because he had betrayed me this current Friday, and he's left my empire in a pretty weak spot. We're going to continue that playthrough. I'm hoping for a couple weeks, so everyone's invited. If you have a computer that can play this game and can handle a 600 map, 600 star map without having any kind of slowdown issues or negatively impacting the stream, so you can join. The Discord link will be in the description on here, and my download is actually in the Discord channel, so I can help you get started there, and then you can play with us on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I ask that people that are going to play, if possible, show up at 8:50 to the Discord so that we can get set up and ready to go. And I think that would be kind of fun, because I like to play this game with you guys. That is part of the appeal. So the Mon Cows have declared rivalry with us. Big deal. Let's go back up here and build some more ships.
Special project.
I'm gonna build some victory class. Alright, so we just got a special project completed. I wonder, did the ship come back? Doesn't look like it. Which special project? Okay, so Dead Reckoning completed, and unfortunately, doesn't look like we got the ship back, so that's unfortunate, but understandable. I had never faced a ring world before, guys. I had no idea what this would even be like, so it's pretty crazy. The Terra Civil Authority fleet is intimidating our colonies, those bastards. They've begun claiming systems near our space. They've already sent fortifying positions and have sent a detachment of the fleet into the border region. Well, hey, it's started a recruitment drive for us, which is great for the Empire. And Terrace is not long for this world anyway, so Look at that, they're completely occupied at this point.
Research complete.
Alright, so what do we have? We have phased armor, which is part of the Leviathan research chain. That's awesome. Now we have different...
Construction complete.
Mark III. I think we should go with that. Okay. Defensive turbo lasers Mark III. Can't wait to upgrade the ships yet again.
Complete.
But I think that's pretty good. And here you can see army damage, and it just goes so fast. And now we'll get another one. And just to show you the advantage of that, let's go down here and take a look at some of our ARC troopers. Like this ARC trooper here. Average damage 16,
Construction
64.
complete.
Wow.
Incoming transmission.
So this does a ton of morale damage. And then their health, look at their health. This is how we're going to win the day. Alright, let's pause this real quick. We've got some things to consider. They want to trade us star charts for minerals. They're going to give us minerals, whatever. Okay, I think everybody pretty much knows the galaxy at this point. Okay, so now the Doran Republic wants to be in a research agreement with us. I'd be giving them like over 80 technologies, 70, 80. And they want to have... No, we're going to decline that. That's a horrible idea. Okay, Terrace is now insulting us. They say, your species seems to grow more and more disgusting each passing day, humans. Well, whatever. You're also human, so that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I guess the fact that your worlds are being occupied by aliens has completely clouded your mind. Alright, so we're still going through now. Let's see. 292. We're almost done with... Oh, cool. We're almost done with the Death Star plans. I'm really curious to see what happens after that. Our Annihilator SSD is researching. It has about 7 years left on it, so... Not bad. Not bad at all. And the next one we can have join our main fleet as well, since Lord Vader's is going to stay over Imperial Center. And I just want to look at that model again, because, guys, I think this thing is sweet. Yes, I totally get that this is not an Executor-class Star Destroyer, but in my playthrough, it's going to be. Like, when I look at that, that's the Executor now. And I think that's pretty neat. We're also getting to the point of the game where there's so many fleets out here and there's so much stuff, it's starting to slow it down a little bit, because even on fastest, we're probably getting like a fast kind of thing. But it's still totally playable, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, we have unemployed pops. We have a bunch of stuff I can take care of while we're waiting. Let's go ahead and... let's work on this world a little bit. So what do we need to do? We need to get a lot more research for sure. Let's make sure that all of our research is going. In fact, I'm going to make this entire planet research and the heck with everything else. We obviously want to keep this energy because that's a really big energy. Okay, super laser research, awesome. Now we have the choices between these. How long would it take us? 28 months to get synthetics? What's the worst that could happen, right? Okay, I don't really like any of these, so which one was the, this is 4 months away. We'll just get that so I can hopefully get a refresh and keep working on those exotic techs for our unlocks, which is what you want to do. I really recommend that strategy. If there's nothing on there that you want, always take the one that takes the least amount of time. It's because the way that this game works with the technology, every technology that you research, regardless of what it is, goes into a total pool, and the more that you have of those, the more that the other empires are afraid of you. Even if you're researching something like basket weaving, you know, they're like, oh, they have such technology. You know, they fear our great might. So, yeah, definitely the way to go. I apologize that this episode hasn't been as sexy as some of the other ones, but we kind of need it right now just to go through and to do that. So yes, we're going to build science labs everywhere. We're going to make this planet a science planet.
Research complete.
Which is good because by choosing the damage to the endgame crisis, then we have we passed on the habitat, and then it's going to take us longer to get the engineering feat. So because of that, we need to make sure that we're making up the science somewhere else, because I would have built a science thing immediately. What was it, a science array? These things are fantastic. We need to keep the Empire going strong. It doesn't really matter, they don't get bonuses from the capital, so I can put the monument here, and this here, and... Alright, so we have another research here. Here we go. So we have the Leviathan again, it popped back up. This TIE Phantom is pretty cool too. Alright, we'll do this. 30 months away. Getting closer to our final form. Go back here and finish this off. Then we'll just do rows, like these 2 rows will be physics, these 2 rows will be engineering, and then this row will be bio. I think that's probably the best way to do it. In fact, we might make more of these, because physics is such a big thing. What is this, cloning vats? Oh, whatever. It still gives us what we need. Alright, we'll upgrade that too. And it looks like Camino has stopped guaranteeing the independence of the Utopia committee. Alright, they might have gotten bigger. I don't know if they were that big before. Maybe they were. But everybody else is pretty much stagnant in the galaxy. I'm waiting for something to happen. We kind of need that endgame crisis at this point. Man, we just keep getting these. We can just go back and forth. Our army damage is going to be... like I said, I don't know if this is a bug or what, but this is amazing. We can get that done in 10 months, and we're just going to crush everybody once we start to do that. In fact, I know that we have some of our senators that were thinking of plans for us to attack the Republic. The problem with that is that I don't know what the Republic's combined fleet is. There's just really no way to tell. So because of that, you know, it's very dangerous for us to do that. Plus, we have so many inlets here that no amount of defense stations can stop a fleet at this point of the campaign. I can't even really slow them down. So if they come through with like a 20k fleet and I have a couple defense stations, they just run that right over. And here you can see like they've got 22k, 12k. You know, they've got sufficient fleets to deal with any of that. So there's no way to really funnel enemies where you want them at this point. And because we're the Empire and because our borders are so vast, it's kind of difficult to reconcile with that. Alright, so here we go. We have all of those building in. That'll be pretty nice. We'll let that go. Let's take a look at Arta Prime. Let's also do the same thing here. And then we'll make a energy planet as well. Actually, put an energy grid up because it gives us unity. Unity is important because I really would like to get all of these done. I've never had all 8 done before for the Ascension perks, and I think that that would be pretty cool. We're about 68 months away from domination, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll force some of these independent empires into servitude of the Empire. I really feel that that's probably one that you need to get early on, so that before these big massive alliances start happening, you have a better chance of, you know, dominating your neighbors. But the Hutts here, they're kind of like my target. They have defensive pacts with the Rhodians and Camino, but their independence is still guaranteed by the Chiss. Damn. So as long as that's in the case, I can't attack them. Everybody else I don't really care about necessarily. I think that we could take them pretty damn easily. It's just that with the Chiss out here, you know, being the tactical masterminds that they are, they've done very well for themselves. I would say that they are by far the biggest threat to us taking over the galaxy. Their land mass is probably fairly equal to ours, actually. So we just have to be careful with that because they're probably actually kind of close to winning.
Research complete. Ships upgraded.
And I can't remember where the I'm looking for it. Yeah, I can't remember where the victory tab is, where you can take a look at that. Here it is. Victory. If your federation owns 60% of all habitable planets. Okay, so as long as we continue to own most of the habitable planets in our region, we'll probably keep them from winning that, but that's kind of scary that they're close. Okay, so we just got the 10% damage again. Now we have these choices. I am going to get the hydroponics farm because it's the lowest one. It'll get done the quickest, and I think that that's probably the way to go. So these scientists are eligible to be renamed as well. So if you want a scientist, make sure that you put that in the comments. Like I said, I'm not accepting ship captains in the game. You can definitely put your name of your ship and all of that in the comments, and I'll put that on my Excel sheet. But just typing out that many, I can see why Captain Shaq charges money for that, because that took me forever just to even find them, because we get so many comments, which I absolutely love, guys. I love that you're interacting with the content, that you like it, and that's why I make it. But it's too much for me whenever I go to record this to spend 2 hours in pre-prep to get this ready to go. It'll allow me to make these episodes faster, and who knows. Okay, so we're good to go. At this point, I really want the endgame crisis, because I feel that we're in an excellent position, because with our double the damage that we're going to do to them, our 500k fleet, nice. Our fleet's 552k, so that's actually like having a 1 million fleet against them. So let's go ahead and continue to build, because we have to push the advantage. I was gonna build some more Super Star Destroyers, but I don't think that's really necessary. Let's focus. Let's stop for a second just to make sure that I get this right. Let's focus all of this 32k on support ships. So I'm gonna build a whole bunch of CR-80s. Let's make sure our edicts are still in place. Yeah, they're good until 2400, so we have 5 years left on them. Good. Alright, so I'm going to build a whole bunch of CR-80s, a whole bunch of our Quinton and broadsides, and then, let's see, what else can I do? Some escort carriers. Yeah, I think that's good. So that's used up half of it. Now down here, for these, I want to build some Vindicators, and then Nebula MBs. Maybe a Secutor. Yes. Okay. And then down here, I'll just do Nebula MBs until we're out. Okay, so we're using 2 or 3 of our 4 production facilities. That keeps one open in case I have to build something as a reactionary. But I'd really like to have a good fighter screen for the fleet. I might break it off into 2 fleets at some point here, because we have a lot. Once we get to maybe 700k, I'll have 2 350k fleets, and I think that at that point is totally fine, because then we can have a northern-based fleet that can respond to border intrusions on this side, and we can have a more centralized, I'd say, classic Empire fleet that's maybe located at Kashyyyk, which is fairly central to all of our southern borders. And at that point, we can even really consider expansion, maybe going after the Zygarians, just because they're not going to be much of a threat, but we need to keep the Imperial forces sharp. Oh wow, so it's amazing to me what happened here. Okay, so the reason this went up so high is because of all the upgrades that we finally put through. So as you can see, the ships are fully modern. I know some people were like, hey, your hull points went way down, but look at the shield difference. The shields went way, way, way up, and that's what we want. We want to have a ton of shields, and I will definitely sacrifice some hull points for that, because most things actually get intercepted by the shields in this game. In the base game, there's like that whole rock, paper, scissor, so there are some weapons that miss the shields, but turbo lasers, for the most part, hit them, and in Star Wars, most people are using them. So we want to make sure that we have decent shielding. Pretty pleased with that, actually. Let's see, how about Bunta Prime? What's going on here? Yeah, so we're only plus 96 on energy, and the fleet's in here, so we really need an energy world. So I think that that's what we're going to do here. So let's just go ahead and continue to make sure that we're, making the right decisions for the Empire. There's things that we need on every world, but then after that, it's time to build some energy. So I'm also going to make a Paradise Dome and put it right here, just because that's pretty cool. Gotta get that unity when you can. Especially with the number of planets we have, that really offsets our unity output significantly. So we'll build all of our power plants here. We can see the entire galaxy, so I don't really need any more communications arrays. I wish there was like a single button that I could push and just be like, by pushing this button it's going to build a power plant, and it knows it, instead of having to scroll down every time. So that's something that maybe they can do in future future releases of the game. That would be awesome. Just little quality of life things that we can do to really improve. I'm totally curious if I pull that fleet out of the Star Dock, or Dry Dock, how terrible the energy drain will be. I'm sure it'll be terrible. Actually, what we should do, since it's at Arda Prime, let's build a crew quarters there. Ship upkeep. And let's also build, let's fully upgrade this. Maybe. Okay. The same. Oh, these are all already done. Excellent. So somehow they went to the only one that wasn't fully upgraded. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so we'll continue to do that to try to get a really good place for them to hang out. Plus, I don't even know where that is. Let's see, is it up here? Here it is, Arda. Okay, so that's where our fleet is. It's kind of centrally located to our entire region. And we do have the jump drives, so they kind of phase in and phase out, which is kind of neat. Also dangerous, but at this point I'll take the danger. Let's see, Bunta, we need to continue with that, so we are building power plants. Kind of sucks the power plant's all the way at the bottom, too. You would think that like the ones that you know that you're using more often, like power plants and food production and that should be at the top, and then the exotic ones would be at the bottom, but I guess it's alphabetical. That's Scandinavian efficiency for you there. It's actually pretty cool. By the way, guys, if you're interested in playing Stellaris, I know we have a lot of people that watch this and may not actually have the game just because they find it to be fun. Stellaris is, I believe, part of the Humble Bundle. I know that there are other Paradox games that are part of the Humble Bundle for this month. I got a tweet from them about it, so you might want to check that out. Since I own the ones I already want, I haven't done that. Okay, they wanted a research agreement, not a chance. Alright, so we have another 1K. Let's build one more world. Let's see, how are we doing on everything else? We're good. Yeah, we'll do a Xeno Zoo here because that really gets some pretty big bonuses. Paradise Dome.
Incoming transmission.
Where is it?
Incoming transmission.
Monument. Okay. And finally, what's the last one? Alright, let's see. Minerals, decline, that's not much. Oh yeah, see, this is nice. Well, we're already capped, so it doesn't really help us. But I like the thought. Alright, hydroponics farm is good. So now we have food plus 15% or army damage. We're always going to take the army damage if it's available. 6 months away from the framework. How are we doing over here? So, let's see, situation log. We almost have a new... We're 2 years away from another Super Star Destroyer. Things are looking up. Awesome. We're at 14k again, so we're not really in danger of being capped. We can get up to 35. I'll let that play out. Let's go back down here to Bunta. So I'm going to try to go through on these planets and really focus on our unity, because I think that those perks are really going to be helpful to us right now. So let's see, there was one more that I wanted to do. I was trying to figure out what it is. The energy grid, we definitely want that. Okay. Oh, we got the Defense Turbo Laser Mark III. Now I'm not gonna put them in right now. It's gonna take some time to do that. Let's go through these other things that we have. Is there anything I can get rid of very quickly, because I don't really like these choices that they're giving us. Capacitor fields are Power plant would be a big deal. Yeah, we'll do power plants. So that's 19 months away, 24 months away. Oh, we found another That's weird. I can't believe there's somebody we hadn't met yet. Two months away from the framework for the Leviathan. I'm really curious to see what the Leviathan is for us. I don't remember at this point, which makes me feel old. Okay, so remember, all these are going to be physics labs.
Research complete.
Okay, now let's move everybody that's non-essential up to a physics role and put everybody else and make sure that they're actually working in a science capacity. And these are all going to be engineering facilities. And also I'm hoping that my PC stays on because it is raining cats and dogs and lightning and everything else outside. So, we'll see how that goes. There we go. Alright, so we have a new research. Okay, Leviathan research chain. We obviously are going to take that. Although turbo laser fire rate is really interesting and sexy, but we'll take that because we're trying to move up. 30 months from now, not bad. And we have another proposal. Okay, I auto-declined it. Chances are there's nothing that they're offering me that would be interesting anyway. Alright, so I think that we have built all of our special buildings for here, and now we can just focus on energy. So we will finish building out the energy here. Alright, we just got army damage 10% again. I mean, like, it almost feels like cheating, but it's the good kind of cheating. It's the cheating that wins, and that's what you need sometimes. So once again, I want to apologize if this episode isn't as sexy as the other ones, but sometimes you need to have these slower episodes because they set up what happens later in the game. So between the Ascension perk that we got, the massive, like, almost doubling of our fleet size, I think we've made some significant progress towards it, so I already know what I want the vote to be. It's a very similar vote, however, I'm going to advocate to do it to push it up, because I'm not as afraid of the Scourge or anything else that could potentially happen. Lord Vader has continued to remind us that they're out there on the horizon and he can sense it, but it's kind of elusive. Just don't know when it's going to happen. Now, I know there's a way to build robots where you just like build multiples and do that. I wish they would bring that mechanic over for everything. You guys can probably hear the thunder in the distance. Nothing I can do about that.
Construction complete.
I have to say though, watching a thunderstorm is one of my old pleasures for sure. I don't know if you guys, get anything out of that, but for me, I've always enjoyed watching the rain. Maybe that's weird. Maybe I'm weird.
Incoming transmission.
Alright, I'm just gonna go through these planets and make sure that we've upgraded everything we can. Okay, see, this is an okay offer. We'll take that. Just making sure that we are fully upgraded everywhere. Alright, Gree is looking good. I also want to caution you guys, like, sometimes I try to roleplay something. Like, first of all, this guy needs to be in the mines. There we go. Same thing here. We can't have people that are unhappy on important plots of land. Alright, perfect. 26k, I need to spend that quickly.
Research complete.
Yeah, it's getting scary outside. So I really hope I don't lose this recording. Okay, research is complete. We have another research. Let's take a look at it. Army health. How awesome. Okay, so at this point I am going to deviate from the plan. I'm going to go ahead and pick food plus 15%. Oh, nice. A new Annihilator Superstar Destroyer has been built and is orbiting Imperial Center. Let's go take a look at that beauty, shall we? As you can see. Now let's pull it back and see if we can get them to merge. No. Okay, I can't get them to merge, but...
Construction complete.
Currently set to discourage allies. Okay. Well, I can't merge them, and people were saying you can't merge them because they're doing that, but that's actually not the case. They have to have the same FTL type. So I know there's a way that we can have them follow, but for now we're just going to leave them here, because that basically gives us an 80k deterrent at... there we go. I am big, that's what he says, and that actually, that checks out. Okay, so we're going to leave them here, because we have like a 95k presence over Imperial Center. This way our home world is pretty much guaranteed to be covered. So that's good there. Pretty pleased with that, actually. Monthly Irelium ore. And they're going to give me nothing. Wow! Wow. If you told me that was a bomb, I would totally have believed it. Holy crap. Alright, it's getting real outside. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do the episode just because I don't want to have anything strike the house. Let's see. Let's go back and take a look at the worlds we just did and make sure that we're good to go. Okay, so down here we're doing... Oh, well, that's fine. I was going to do bio labs here, but I don't need that many, actually. Our bio labs are in really good hands. So we'll go ahead and do that. Upgrade these. Good to go. Alright, so how are we doing on Arta Prime? Okay, so I started here and I didn't finish. We need this to be a physics world as well. Just make sure that we're getting all of those bonuses that we have available to us. It would just not make sense to leave them off. Okay, so everything else can be science labs. So I understand that this is going to make the people of Scarif a little bit uneasy to see that they're not being replaced, but that we're actively looking to expand our science labs. But they have to understand that the Empire has grown to the point that we can no longer survive on a single science complex, and we need to have multiple ones. I mean, just the sheer logistics of the Empire from a, from a human perspective is completely mind-boggling. We can't even understand, the size of the universe because it's just, or even our own solar system, the vastness of it is something that is completely, completely alien to us. Because we have no sense of scale to that. Just like, when you discuss something like a Planck length, which is, infinitesimally small, it's also hard for us to understand that as well. There's just no concept of it.
Construction complete.
So to know what would have to be, part of the Empire and all of that is just amazing. I think that the whole thing would have to be run by, like, incredible supercomputers. Alright, so we have Power Plant 5, that's a huge deal. Now let me just take a look. So we don't have anything else that we're getting right now that can help move along any of those technologies. I want to get this physics research. Dark matter, I think that's a pretty good one to go for. It's only about 3 years, so that's not so bad. Science convection, this is an excellent idea. We're not going to invite anyone because we want to keep our science to ourselves at this point. And then we'll just go through and upgrade these as they become available. Awesome. Yeah, I'll move her over here because I'd rather have the Unity for right now. And we'll take a look here. Okay, so everything here is ready to be upgraded as well. In fact, I can probably go back through all the planets and upgrade quite a bit. Oh, let's pause it real quick. We got two things to do. One, I don't want to... Alright, we're at 34k. We're almost maxed on minerals. I don't want to waste any. So let's go ahead and get our domination. Nice. Alright, so we have that. And secondly, it's time to build some ships. Alright, so what can we build? I think some Victory class is a good idea. More Interdictors, maybe an Allegiance and a Secutor. Alright, that's good for there. Now on Scarif, we're going to do a bunch of Imperial Star Destroyers, that's good. And on Looney, I guess I will do a Nebulon B. Alright, so we've spent our resources again, which is awesome. I love that we went from 80 to 256. You can see what a difference even the base stuff makes, and now I'm going to go down through and make sure all these planets are updated as well. Because energy is always the limiting factor in Stellaris, at least for me. I've always noticed that no matter what I do, I'm chasing energy from the time I start playing until I get defeated. Full disclosure, I've never actually won a Stellaris game, just because they go so long that I will either tell myself, okay, at this point I have, 50% of the galaxy I won, or I get destroyed by the CPU, so... If we were to win this, it would be a major milestone for me. Anything can happen. In fact, I think at some point it's probably very likely that the entire universe will ban against us and try to take us out. I find that to be probably by far the most likely scenario.
Construction complete.
It's amazing how quickly we can spend this money on upgrades. Which in turn, if it's not energy, costs even more energy because the buildings get more expensive. Yeah, logistically it's a nightmare. But you can't argue with results. Look at how much this planet's outputting right now. 154 energy credits. That's pretty decent. It's going to get way better. I have 2 more levels of upgrades I can attach to that. Okay, this is a food-producing world. I don't need to upgrade it, but I like to. It's kind of like a status thing that we can have everything up. The Chiss ascendancy will now guarantee the independence of the Council of Camino. They're really becoming a thorn in my side. I was hoping that we could work together, but apparently the Chiss have other ideas. Decline that. Alright, so they're integrating all kinds of people into their empire. Let me see if we can talk some reason into them. I would like you to be my vassals. And they say no. Farewell. They're equivalent. They're pathetic, but their naval capacity is superior and their technology level is equivalent. That's kind of scary. Okay, the Hutt clan stopped guaranteeing the independence of the Arcanian Dominion. Okay, so our treaty with them has ended. Can we get them into a federation? If we did, I think we'd win the game immediately. Okay, so we have our science convention. Let's get this show on the road. The Convention for Interdisciplinary Sciences went precisely as expected. Scientists from assorted star systems attended and assorted intellectual trading has opened several new interesting lines of inquiry. Organizers assure us that this has been an extremely beneficial event for our various fields of research. Awesome, so we got plus 150, plus 150, and plus 150. I don't think that that's like the best you can do. I think that you can actually research a new tech at those, or at least start research of a new tech. To be honest, that's something I hadn't seen recently, until recently, so it's kind of new to me.
Construction complete.
I don't know about you guys, but I am super pumped about Star Citizen, so I just want to go over my plans for that. What I'm going to be doing is every Wednesday we started a podcast for Star Citizen. We're going to be recording that on Tuesday nights, so there's not going to be a Tuesday night live stream anymore because I'm going to use that as my prep day for that, to get that recorded, to make that audio quality significantly better than it was in our test episode. So that's going to be called Edge of the Verse. It's going to come out on Wednesday mornings. And then following that up, we're going to call it Into the Verse, which is going to be our Wednesday night show where we actually play Star Citizen.
So it's going to be like a two-part. It's kind of like Talking Dead and The Walking Dead. Oh, here we go. Finally. Ladies and gentlemen, finally. Subspace echoes. Several of our tracking stations have picked up peculiar subspace echoes coming from somewhere in intergalactic space. The echoes are faint but getting stronger, and they seem to be approaching our galaxy. A storm is on the horizon.
Situation log updated.
Let's pause that. Do we have a location? Comsat. Comstat is currently going crazy, looking for it. All right. It seems that extragalactic invaders are on their way. The Empire shall stand ready. General Veers, prepare your men. Yes, let's do this.
Research complete.
Alright, so what do we get? We got food plus 15%. Do leader lifespan just to get out of the way. 3 months away from the Leviathan. Hopefully at this point we can just research the Leviathan. Approaching on the outer rim. Okay. That's scary. We have a lot of outer rim here. But I'm ready for them. Let's see, where are they? Here's the breach point. Okay, it's down in the Hutt clans. Hopefully, and yes, I do have access to that, so I don't know what this is going to do to our resources. I think it's not going to be great. But I am going to, I'm going to put us there. Oh. Ouch. Okay, we need those energy worlds to pan out pretty quickly. It's pretty rough. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're still upgrading everything that we need to. I'm gonna engage... We've engaged the Borg. I'm gonna engage him here. They'll go this far and no farther. I will make them pay for what they have done. Yes. Patrick Stewart is so good. Alright, we need to get these places upgraded as much as we can. In preparation of this, it's possible we might lose a couple worlds until we get them completely and totally pacified, but I don't know where their main fleet is, but we will take them out. That is the goal. We're sending in the fleet, our 600k fleet, which is more like 1.2 million. Very excited about this, and yeah, and we can upgrade again. All right, so that looks good for now. Let's go down and take a look at our other worlds that were coming along. Okay, need to upgrade all this. Alright, good to go. Enough of that. Let's watch the approaching storm.
Construction complete.
Scarif has been updated. Excellent. Very important. Alright, our fleet is on the move. There they go. I love the jump drives. I think that's pretty cool. 176 minerals for my terraforming. Are you kidding? Alright, so Leviathan is done. Let's see. Oh, got another one for... Oh, okay, so we can get the Leviathan or we can get the Kyber crystals. I'm going to get the Leviathan because that actually opens up that one. That's 51 months. That's, what, a little less than 5 years. So... that's just over 4 years. Alright, so we'll have that. Alright guys, here we go. Pretty scary. I had a thumbnail ready to go for this one, but I think I may have to. Change it. Let's see, hopefully we get there in time, because I would love to have their fleet drop out of hyperspace right onto ours and start a massive battle. That would make me very happy.
Construction complete.
Very happy indeed. Wow, look at our minerals. We went from tons of minerals to 28 minerals. Our fleet is absolutely huge. Here we go.
Okay. So the cool part about this is from here we'll be able to get to any of these systems that are affected very quickly and take them out. It's a good thing that I still have friendly relations with these empires, otherwise they wouldn't let me in here. And then Imperial resources could be threatened as well. I kind of need some mining worlds too. Just looking at this, we need some more mineral production, so I may have to send some robots to some molten worlds to get them colonized up and start being like foundry production so that we can continue. Because essentially at this point it's not really feasible for us to expand the fleet anymore, even though we have the fleet power to do so. Just resource-wise, this is pretty much killing us. Look at our... Let's see. Wow. Ship maintenance, 1707 per month. That's insane. Building maintenance is like not even that. Station maintenance is pretty high, but ship maintenance is off the damn charts. Oh! Admiral Acidine has learned to carefully nurse his supplies to significantly reduce ship operating costs across the board. It went down 1 energy credit. So all of that gave us back a single energy credit. That's crazy. Wow. What about here? So ship maintenance is what's killing us in consumer goods. Alright, so this is better. I kind of need to accept this. I can't really turn it down because I want to have a cushion there in case when whatever's being built here comes out, pushes us into the negative for minerals. We have to be ready. Also, it's almost impossible for me to upgrade these worlds now, so no more science. We love science, but I'm going to have to focus on the energy portion of it, so this world needs everything I can give it. Just have to be careful. There we go. So we've upgraded that world. About as good as we can do. Alright, we have 2 minerals left. This is pretty crazy. Alright, we're ready. Show yourselves. Reveal yourselves to me! Wow. If I had a system, we have Scarif here, which is like a single 2 jumps maybe. Boom, boom. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I should put them in Scarif to rebuild until they get here, but they should be here any second. I'm a little scared about this. Alright, so they're coming probably from a galaxy far, far away. You never know. Oh, wow. This is it, guys. This is the entire Imperial fleet. Look at that. Amazing. Almost 360k. And I guess what we have here is what we're going to get because of +9 minerals. We're not building anymore. I can tell you that. The only way that we're going to get minerals at this point is to trade. I'm also really concerned about the energy credits being a big deal the longer I'm out of space dock. In fact, because of that, I'm going to take us back to Scarif. It's just because we can easily get there very quickly. But we need to rebuild our energy supplies in case this is a prolonged campaign.
Incoming transmission.
Minerals 122, no. Definitely need minerals. Need energy credits, need minerals, need everything. So we'll put ourselves back in there and let that
Construction complete.
gel a little bit. Since we know where it is, it's not an immediate threat. We kind of have to get in there and kick some ass as soon as it comes out. I guess it takes longer than I expected to have them arrive. Gives you some time to prep and build stuff, I suppose. Alright, so that's not that bad. I think it was like 650 or something when we first started, so we were able to mitigate a little bit of that. And if I could get these worlds fully upgraded, that would help as well. So getting back into port is actually a priority. Pretty close. Oh, that's scary. It's loud. Wow. I mean, I would think like the entire resources of Scarif would just be like suctioned off just to support the fleet when it's there. Wow. Okay, see, look at the difference. And we're back up to plus 619. So, yeah, it doesn't pay to take the fleet out. Okay, so now everyone is opening their borders to us because they're scared. And that's understandable. You should be scared. You should be. I mean, I'm almost tempted because we can, like, kick their asses so easily with our perks and with the size of our fleet to, like, let the Scourge maybe take over some of our neighbors so that when I take them back, I can take the space. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that strategy. We can strategize here. Okay, so the Benthal societal shift. We're seeing a definite movement towards a more militaristic society by the various Brenthal governments. Their standing in military forces, such as they are, have become more professional in nature. Yes, they will thank us one day, but they will die. Alright. Let's see, how are we doing on this? Okay, we're over an hour. I'm just waiting for them to show up, because then we're going to really take it to them. Or maybe they'll take it to us, I don't really know. I got insulted from the Zagarian Slave Empire. Perhaps there are star nations in this galaxy that are even more worthless than the Galactic Empire. If so, we've yet to meet them. Wow. You're a fox, man. How can you possibly say this to me? Okay, so we have physics research plus 20%. Awesome. Dark matter. Do we have any dark matter? We do! We've got 5 dark matter. Now that's going to be something people are going to want to trade for. Energy credits plus 5. We want that. We need that. That would be... our monthly produced is 2290, so 5% of that is what? 50... Yeah, it's like another 100 or so. That helps offset that. Anything that buys us time when the fleet's out is important. Okay, now let's go back to these worlds and make sure that they're upgraded even further. It's so important. Use all the minerals that we can while we have them. I think our fleets are pretty good for right now. Alright, there we go. They're upgrading. Because these are going to need the second round of upgrades soon. I mean, they have to go from like power plant 1s to power plant 5s. So every second we get is good. Plus we can see this with a comm stat. As you can see, I can see everything except way down here in the galaxy. So it should be good. Turn that off. Alright, perfect. I don't know, guys. I'm tingling with anticipation. This will be our first chance. I'm going to also upgrade our science while we have the minerals. This will be our first chance to really stretch our legs. Alright, so leader lifespan plus 5 years, so now... Food, edict duration, slave... I really don't want any of these, because we don't have slaves. We don't make slaves. It doesn't... I'll tell you this. I don't think when you're trying to build it, when you're trying to do a domination victory, having slaves is cool, and it's like RP and all that, right? But it's not a good strategy, because then you have a ton of unrest, and then you're investing in armies and stuff just to pacify planets that if you gave them citizenship, you could make them productive members and have them work against their own, ideals. It's a better gameplay mechanic. It doesn't make sense in the real world. Well, I mean, it would if you could get people to change the way they think, but that doesn't really happen. But I mean, like, when you play the game, you have to min-max it to try to win, so I guess that's what I'm getting at. Not bad. Go back here.
Complete.
Upgrade. Just keep Upgrading. Okay, here we go. Got a lot of upgrades to do here. Oh. So these haven't been done. So we'll do the same thing. Physics on the top. Well, this will be physics. So we'll do this line of physics. I guess anywhere that they already had existing physics that we need to take advantage of. And then we'll do physics here.
Incoming transmission.
And then we'll make this engineering. We don't need any biolabs on here. We've got tons of bio. And then we'll do engineering down here. Alright, see, this is much better. They're going to give us 2,200 minerals, which I definitely will take. Alright, just make sure that we continue to force the upgrades through. Let's see how we're doing here. We got more stuff that needs upgraded. Awesome. It is a contractor's dream on those planets. When the Empire decides to build something, everybody... You know, the Empire is also a huge jobs creation thing. They're still not here. Where are they? Okay, guys. So, hopefully there's not a, hopefully there's not a bug or something and they do show up. The coming storm. I don't know, maybe it's like a 10-year build-up. I don't know. I'm not going to let this episode go much longer, though, but we know that they're approaching, so we'll call this episode The Approaching Storm. I think that was actually a book, maybe. I remember right after college, my girlfriend at the time got a job across the state, and so I would drive out to see her, and I would rent Star Wars books on audio from the library. Yes, I'm old. We had libraries back then. And now, I mean, you just use audible.com. Hell, I do that for all the Star Wars books now. I don't read anymore. I listen because I find that whenever you're in the car, rather than wasting your time listening to music, not necessarily wasting your time. There's definitely times when that's helpful and relaxing, that I can be more productive if I do things like that. So I like to do that. But I remember listening to the audiobook The Approaching Storm a long time ago. It's definitely a Star Wars thing. It's set right before episode 2, I believe. It's kind of silly too. That's the problem with the old EU. I liked parts of it, other parts were like, eh. Somehow Terrace retained their planets. How did they get out of that war without losing anything? Pretty crazy to me. I don't even think the Jedi... I don't think anybody ended up with any demands in that. Well, maybe the Jedi Council took this world, because I don't think they had that previously. That's a little different. Okay. Still waiting. Here we go. Caldor's display psionic potential. Latest psionic powers have begun to manifest in certain individuals belonging to the Caldor species, according to the leaked reports from the authorities in the Doran Republic. This must be a fairly recent development, since we have no record of Caldors ever displaying psionic abilities on file. We're going to call that the Force. According to the leaked reports, these powers are so far limited to a very small minority of the Caldor species as a whole. Scientists in the Doran Republic have offered no explanation. How particular. There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to stop here for now. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and we're going to save this. So the vote in the Senate is going to be, should we allow the Scourge to do our work for us and then mop up the Scourge afterwards, after they've taken out a portion of the galaxy? Or should we immediately go in and stop the Purge, or the Scourge, before they become potentially a threat to us? Vote in the card. It'll show up on the right-hand side right now. And go ahead and put your comments in the comments, as always. I love reading them. We've gotten so many that I can't always respond to them like I used to, but I will always read them. And I will do everything that I can to respond. I appreciate you guys. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. You guys are the reason I make these. Let's continue to go. Yay, Empire. So this is Captain Katarn, and I will see you in the verse. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best.